Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World over here on the Broadway Podcast Network. Our next guest you've seen on television. She's not going to professionally wrestle me. Well, maybe.
You didn't even ask me.
Jackie, you could come wrestle. You could body slam me anytime. And that's
Right?
not even in
Right?
a filthy way. That's just,
Suplex.
oh, I'm so excited you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Congratulations on the floaters. Congratulations on it being in film festivals. Congratulations on, did you go to camp?
Of course, I went to camp. Is that a trick question? Just kidding. Yes, I did go to camp. I went to sleepaway camp as a kid for my whole life. And then when I got the opportunity to do this movie, the camp was like 10 minutes away from the camp I went to.
No.
Yes, because they're all like kind of just up there, upstate New York.
Oh my goodness. Did it bring back good memories, bad memories, all the
I
memories?
would say I would say combo platter because the character Nomi that I play in the movie is like a little bit of a sort of outsider, let her freak flag fly. And that was definitely me at camp, like not in with the popular girls, like hard, like truly not in with the, but I didn't care. But I noticed. I was like, oh, those are the cool girls. I'm gonna be weird over here.
Well, what I loved about this film, it's funny, it's clever, it's this story needs to be told. Different races, ethnicities, religions, backgrounds, cultures need to be told these stories. I'm Italian Jersey. So for me, like Long Island Jewish and Italian Jersey are like the same thing.
100%. Truly, it's the same side of the different side of the same coin or something. Yeah.
Exactly. It's exactly right. So when this film came to you, what made you jump and be attached to this in
Oh,
particular?
so many things. I mean, I think obviously the summer camp, it's so much of my story. And I also think um I love Lady Gaga. I love the weirds. I love the weirds. I'm a weird. We're all so weird. All these artists I know. And so this movie really is this girl's journey to be herself, but she realizes, forced to realize that taking a right turn and helping other people, there's so much value in that. And she ends up, being very focused on herself. But because her career is failing so hard, her best friend saves her. She starts working at her best friend at the camp they went to as kids, who her best friend now manages that camp, directs the camp. And she goes and has to figure out something to do with all these kids that haven't signed up for anything at camp. And so they put on this big wild show. And it's just like a delicious, I don't want to say an underdog, maybe I'll say outsider. It's just like a delicious, uplifting outsider story that everybody can relate to, but happens to take place at a Jewish summer camp starring a girl who is a failed rock star. I'm like, could there be more things that make sense for me?
I don't think you're a failed rock. I love your music, and and you could listen to it, and I love the Idol days, and I love the Platinum Hit days, and everybody
Better watch it.
we know all of the things about the Jackie, and we're so excited to see your transition to film. When this film comes to you, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to build great chemistry. Like you have to look like your best friends, you have to look like your other. Did you really all stay together on this camp?
Well, so Sarah and I, Sarah who plays Mara, my best friend, we had these little like cottage Airbnbs, like we were in the same one in the woods. Like we were next door neighbors. So there was like a little duplex house upstate New York. And Sarah and I lived there, and all the campers lived literally in the camp in bunks. But I worked, this was the first, I would say the first time I was in almost every scene. And so I was working every day with all of these people, and we got so close so fast, especially when you're doing a movie in a specific location. I mean, it's basically the whole thing is a bottle episode. We're just all on camp. We eat where the people from camp eat. We do the social hall the way the people from camp. So it's like, it was a full camp experience, but there were cameras rolling and we had to memorize a bunch of lines.
And this cast is epic. I mean, you also have
That's
some of like,
epic.
I mean, Steve Guttenberg's in this movie.
Stop. And he is what a mensch. He's so cute. He's such a nice guy. He was so happy to be there. I mean, it was incredible. Seth Green came to play, who I've known for, 15 at least years. Aya Cash came for a few. I mean, it just was like, oh, John Silverman. It was great. Everybody sort of came to play. They came upstate New York and we partied.
And y'all partied and it shows on this. What do
Oh,
you,
I'm so glad.
it's so good. I
I
love
love
it.
it too. I
How do we support I want it out. I want everyone to be able to see it. So should we
I listen, I'm a mere I'm a mere woman of the stage, Robert.
Thespian.
I don't have a clue how anything works. It's always funny to me because when you make an indie movie, you just hope it comes out and that people see it. So we're so excited. We're here at the Bentonville Film Festival, Gina Davis's festival. It's an incredible place. There's incredible films here. Say incredible again. And so I think I'm hearing, I don't want to jinx anything. I'm hearing really fun, cool murmurings about where it might land, but it's an indie and we're waiting and we don't know yet. So we're fingers crossing and just hoping that everyone gets to see it soon.
Well, I think that everybody watching that wants to see it and wants to be a part of it, you need to follow the Instagram page, you need to share it, you need to tell a friend, and you need to make sure we get some buzz and the word out here. Because once it gets through this film festival, everyone's going to want to buy a piece of this movie, and
That's right.
it's so good.
Isn't it sweet? I know it came out so great. We're so happy.
And it's not for just anyone who's been to Jewish summer camp, and it's not for just people who, it's for anybody. You'll see
I
humanity.
think that is what excites me about it too. It's similar to Nobody Wants This in that way, where it's like it centers around people who happen to be Jewish, but it's not like if you don't understand the Jewish experience, you're not going to love it. It's a really feel good, freak flag fly, rad movie.
That's why I get it, because I'm like a little theater camp
I
nerd. This
know,
is
I
it.
know. And your
So
Italian jersey, you get us, you see
I
us in your heart,
see, I see you. And talk about the writing and talk about women empowerment and talk about this cast and how
right?
that's important.
It really is, and the female, of course, Sarah Podemski, and I are the two female gals. I was gonna say leads, and I'm like, that's weird. Anyway, yeah, and it's female. It's very female friendship based and very female empowerment. We even talk about how when she started taking over the camp, there was a lot of pushback because people always wanted a man to take over the Jewish camp, blah blah blah. And so it's kind of all in there. It's really.
Can you tell us what it was like to work with Rachel? We had Rachel on the show. She talked about what it was like to direct this, and the other actors that have been with this have said like they felt like it was very free space to really try and play
It
together.
really was. It really, really was. And I think that's important for me too, um, as an actor but not, I mean, obviously I respect the writing. I loved the writing, but there were pieces where like we were really in it and, you just end up saying things to the other, not fully improvising, but you know how it is. And I think it was a really free space to do that and feel like, you could take cracks at things and take chances. And if it was like, can we do that again? I don't know I was trying something. I don't think that was it. And so it felt very free. Of course, always having a female director helps that
I
a lot.
love this movie. I love you, Jackie.
You are such a sweet angel with the best energy. Thank you.
Floatersmovies.com is where you can go. The link to follow it on Instagram will be below. You have to follow Jackie. She is a big fancy TV movie star. And
Wow. Very, very fit. I mean, it is unbelievable
look,
how
I'm getting
fancy.
in trouble by your fancy team who's watching us right now because I'm supposed to only talk about the movie. But you were eating a breakfast sweet potato before we did.
I
What?
was eating
That's
breakfast.
fancy.
You
That
understand?
is movie star
First of
fancy.
all, it doesn't look like much, but it's a breakfast sweet potato with blueberries, almond butter, and freaking bananas. It's the best
Syrup?
thing I ever ate.
Is that syrup in there?
Yes, I said, could you put the syrup on the side because Judaism.
And they gave you a
Put
whole
it, and they
glass of
put. You don't understand. Bentonville's incredible. They put it in a glass jar. Like I'm probably going to keep the jar. Again, Judaism.
because you're a big movie star.
Huge movie star who keeps a tiny glass jar for no reason.
I think breakfast sweet potato is very bougie.
Well, it was all of $8.
Floatersmovie.com. It's a pleasure.
It's
Congratulations.
such a pleasure. You're the cutest.
We can't wait to see what's next. We'll be following and watching.
Okay, everybody, follow me. See you later.
And I am so excited about our next guest, and I'm so excited about our next film that we're going to talk about called The Floaters. And we have the director, Rachel Israel is here, and one of the stars, Judah Lewis is here. Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
I'm so excited that you're both here. So I need to know, how did this film come to you both? Rachel, how did you say, Rachel's been at Tribeca, she's won awards. A lot of people have watched her movies. She's a very acclaimed filmmaker. So why this film? Why did this strike your fancy?
Well, Robert, I had never been to Jewish summer camp, and so it was kind of it was a new world for me. What drew me to the film was this tale of a community and the idea of summer camp as a place where you can find who you are, which I think is kind of at the heart of this film in in all of its comedy and messiness. Um, and so I was really interested in that idea of what community can be. And the summer camp where we shot an actual summer camp where several of our producers have long relationships. Their parents met there, they went there, and they're sending their kids there. Um, Through that access, we could kind of create a really authentic world. And so I see the film as continuing in a tradition of, great Jewish summer camp sorry, rather great summer camp comedies with a twist. And that's the Jewishness.
I love it. It's so much fun, and it's going to be a blast for everyone. Judah, we have followed your career. We have watched your films. You've been a star for a hot minute. You might be one of the few people who have done one of the most famous Christmas movies and a Jewish summer camp movie in the world. It's range. That's acting range. So
Thank you.
how did this film come to you, and what was the audition process like for you to be cast in it?
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, I first just got the script, which is always you're kind of going in blind, you know? And I just found myself one giggling through the majority of it. Um, but I also just thought it was so heartfelt and I really felt moved by it. And more than anything, for me, it's always about the character, right? And I just felt myself continuously connecting with Jonah. I thought one, there were a lot of similarities to myself and him. And two, I really fell in love with his arc, and where he starts out in the film, where he ultimately gets to with the help of the rest of the characters and the community that he finds himself in. And that was something I wanted to bring to life. And then I Zoomed with Rachel and we just became immediate friends and I loved her. And she was so insightful and thoughtful and asked such amazing questions and I just knew I wanted to work on this.
And look, it's here and it's out. And you guys shot this, Rachel, you shot this almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for films to be out and about. So tell us about this. You talk about a cast of some iconic people. I mean, you have Steve Guttenberg in this movie. You have movie stars in this movie. So what is this ensemble cast like, and what was it like to work with them on set, Rachel?
Oh, I mean, it was the absolute best. It was like dessert upon dessert upon dessert. Yeah, so we have, Steve Guttenberg, Seth Green, Jonathan Silverman, some real sort of like greats of, legends, and then this incredible up and coming, vibrant young cast. And so seeing this multi-generational story intertwine was uh, felt like I was witnessing something really special. Um, Sorry, back. What was the original
No,
question?
what was it like to be on set with them all, and to be able to direct them? And they have incredible chemistry as a cast.
Incredible chemistry and each so different as actors. And I think that like the delight in directing is where you make a choice of a great actor and then see the magic that they bring and the creativity that they bring and ideas that they bring to a character that you couldn't have thought of. So it's this wonderful sort of collaborative dance. I really felt like I didn't have any heavy lifting to do with this cast. They just brought delight upon delight, and those surprises along the way were such. Um, yeah, I think it comes across in the film how much fun everyone was having.
What she's saying is you made her job easy, Judah. You made it
So
easy.
easy. Oh my God. And working with Judah was like, it was like, I don't want to objectify him, but Judah, you're like porcelain. Like as a clay, he's such an intensely intelligent and sensitive actor. And there was just like zero faking it or phoning it in. If he didn't know something, then you brought it up and we talked about it and you took direction like butter. It's like, I would wish to work with Judah 1,000 times over.
I'm
I'm
sure,
blushing. The feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual.
Judah, you worked on a whole lot of movie sets, and been in a lot of big films, small films, indie films, big budget monsters. What was it like? What made this film special, and being on set with these actors and this creative team so special?
Yeah, it's hard to define, really. I will try my best, but it's the feeling, right? And that starts from the top down. I think we got incredibly lucky with the group of people that we had, and it really became like a village, this little community that we had out in Berryville, New York, on this summer camp, and it was really just like the camaraderie, the group effort of doing that, I think that's what was most special.
I love that so much. So now, Rachel, the film gets shot, it gets edited down. You hope that it gets seen. You hope that somebody's gonna distribute it. You hope it's gonna be in a film festival. And now you are. Like, and not only just some film festival, like this is quite the fancy dancy film festival. Bennington, you're gonna be there. Like this is airing right as it's gonna happen. So what's it like as a director when you hear that film festivals pick your film and now there'll be an audience that gets to see it?
I think, I mean, I'm just so excited to watch it with people. And it's funny, you when you work on a film for so long as it takes to make a feature, there's like this it's this funny little curse of you can't ever see it on exactly the thing that you've labored so hard to make in that freshest way without really watching it with others and experiencing it vicariously through them. And with a comedy, one of the wonderful things is that you hear people laughing, you feel this sort of bond with an audience as everyone out loud connects with your movie. So I'm just so excited to watch it with an audience and feel it come alive. Yeah.
Well, June 18th, Bentonville Film Festival. The film will be out and about. People will be able to see it. Judah, for you, a comedy. They say comedy is hard, and this film is funny. The lines are funny. It's quick. So, how do you approach as an actor a comedy versus a more dramatic role? Is there a different preparation? Is you don't have an audience, no audience is laughing at you, so you got to really hope the jokes land.
Absolutely. You do have to hope. The interesting thing is, I think you approach it the same exact way. And this is something I think that Rachel really stressed and did in a really beautiful way, which is not trying to play anything for a comedic beat, right? Like if you are just present and truthful in that moment, the situation is what makes it funny. Right. So you don't need to overextend and try to like land a punchline or a gag or whatever it is. If you are just there, being natural, playing it for truth, the end result will ultimately be funny. And I think that was the approach.
And it works, Rachel. It works. So, we live in crazy divisive times where in times where things are scary. Since you've shot this film, so much rhetoric and lies and craziness have been out towards the Jewish community. There's so much anti-Semitism in the air. Why this film is important for people to see it, humanize them. No matter what community you're in, you're going to see humanity in this film.
Mhm.
So for you, it's taken a whole different meaning, I guess, in a different way that we get to see people and we get to see the humanization of an incredible group of people. Who's this film for? Who should check it out?
The world. It's for the world. Yeah. But it has, as as a Jewish filmmaker, it has been a haven for me. And we set out, it's not a political film at all. It's really, but I think central message or theme to the film is about community. And a question I hope the film poses for people is, how does a community of divergent, conflicting individuals, which is what we want? We want strong voices and differing opinions and everyone seeking truth from different angles. But how does a community like that hold together? Which is, kind of, I don't know. There's the joke of, if you ask two Jews, was it like two Jews a question, you get five answers. So that's inherent to our tradition. And I think it's something that makes the film more relevant today than even when we set out to make it.
Absolutely. And Judah, for you, what do you hope people walk away with once they sit down and enjoy this film together with their loved ones?
The same, really. I think for one, like a warm, fuzzy feeling, honestly. But two, I do think like the central idea of no matter our differences, we can find common ground, right? And no matter who you are, there's a place where you belong, right? There are people who are going to accept you. There is community out there for you.
I think that's so great. I love, oh my goodness, as an actor, you're going to want to be on a Rachel set. You're going to want to be in that. And as a person, I wish I was as young as Judah. Look, he doesn't have one wrinkle on his whole face. I'm so jealous. What the heck, y'all? That's terrible. I'm so excited for people to check this film out. I got a chance to check it out last night. I laughed. I saw so much humanity in it. It made me kind of miss summer camp. And summer camp, is fun, the good, the bad, and the ugly of spending summer camp growing up as an adolescent. You're going to see all sorts of humanity in it. Congratulations to you both. I hope people love this film. They're going to love it at the film festival. Kudos.
Thank you, Robert.
So much.
So
Thank you.
fun to talk to you.
Back at you. Thank you so much. We are talking to the cast and some of the creatives behind this film, and I'm so excited to talk. Nina,
Oh,
hi.
hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You know, you have quite the history here. I love some of your work. I love some of your film, television, the work that you have done. Why this film? Why did this film speak to you?
I really loved reading about Lindsay's arc and I related to it a lot. And I had also never gone to summer camp growing up. And I was kind of stoked to kind of get to experience it and get to like heal that like part of me that felt like it missed out. And boy, did I heal it. It was really fun.
You've shot this almost 2 years ago, so you felt like you had the summer camp experience now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but here's what's great, Nina. You guys got paid to be at summer camp.
We
Yeah.
did.
And you were grown, so you weren't that awkward adolescent age where it's not as cute.
I know, I know. It was kind of the perfect storm. I was like, I have all of the knowledge, experience that I wish I had when I was at that awkward age. And I just, it was like a college summer camp experience, which was
Oh,
perfect. Even like better than college because I even had more knowledge yeah, it was great. It was great.
absolutely. Well, you got to check it. It's called Floaters, everybody, and it's and congratulations to you all about the Bentonville Film Festival. It's exciting that you filmed something they edited. It takes forever to come out, and now an audience gets to see it. Are you excited?
I am very excited. I'm stoked. Yeah.
I love this cast. I mean, you all are such good actors, and there's like superstars of film. There's up and coming future superstars, and you
Hell
have
yeah.
such great chemistry. So, what was it like working with this ensemble?
It was so fun because like we really were living on that summer camp. We were living in the counselor dorms, which were really nice. They were all en suites. So like it was pretty sick. But we shared a hallway. So there would be like 6 bedrooms with a shared hallway. And we would all just hang out till like the wee hours of the morning, just like laughing and bonding. And that was really so much fun. And there is such talent in this. Yeah, just like even on set, getting to like learn from Jackie and from Seth and all of that, and that was really great. Yeah, yeah.
Is this the trick? Is that what films should do? They're going to put you all in a cabin and make you live in the woods and shoot a movie.
Honestly, that's like, yeah, it's so fun to do it that way. Like, there's moments where you're like, man, do I wish I could Uber eat something, and you can't. But but the bonding experience is so fun and so silly and it's so like immersive and yeah.
So what can you say about I mean, your director is quite has like put out some amazing award-winning films. The writing of this is so clever and so funny. So what can you say about the crew besides the cast, the crew and being on a set with this crew?
Yeah, that was incredible, and Rachel did such a great job at like letting us all kind of find our characters and find our like own arcs within the script. And we had a lot of conversations before each scene, which is pretty rare to get to do that. And our producers, the Kormans, these siblings, they all went to the camp that we shot at. And just like learning about their experience, it just felt it fully. It was just so immersive and hands-on and really cool to kind of tell their story and their parents' story because their parents met at that camp as well. And there's just so much history there. I even like side note, a lot of people I went to high school went to that camp. So I would see like names like either etched in places or like drawn like while in the middle of a scene. I'd be like, whoa, like there's that guy and there's this like it was really fun. It was funny.
You know, you have quite the history. Your family is legendarily famous for, producing and putting out work and have fighting the fight to do art. Your grandfather is a very famous Broadway, a producer, a creative, and
Yeah.
you carry on this legacy. And this film, and culturally as a Jewish film, and being a Jewish actor, and all of the things that have happened. Do you feel the weight? Do you feel the importance of carrying on the legacy of your family, but also telling stories like this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I never knew my grandpa. He died in the 70s, but I grew up in the apartment that he lived in. So I was like surrounded by his culture, and I would always feel it. Yeah, sometimes I do, but then sometimes I'm like I'm on my own path, which has been great and amazing, and my parents have been so supportive. But yeah, sometimes I look back at my grandpa's career and I'm like, he really did some crazy things and transformed theater on Broadway to what it
And
is
now
now.
you're transforming film and doing the work out here and making film that represents so many people. You know what I loved about the film? I'm not Jewish, but I went to summer camp, but I was a person who had experiences with other people. And while that is important in the story and some of the jokes are so funny and clever culturally, you will get a kick out of this no matter who you are, where you grew up. And that's what's so important. But we are in crazy times. So how important is it for us to have some levity and some laughter and to see a fun movie?
Yeah, it really is, and just like us, it's just a celebration of like Jewish culture and yeah, growing up and yeah, yeah. But it does feel like a universal film, which is nice. Like it does feel like it can reach out to everybody. And I grew up not practicing. I wasn't bat mitzvah rather, wasn't bat mitzvah. Never went to Hebrew school, but just grew up in the culture, celebrating the holidays. And so it was really cool getting to meet people with like my background, but also other backgrounds and people who were more spiritual, more religious. Um, yeah, but I feel like it really reaches everybody.
What do you hope that when people go see this film at film festivals and when it's distributed and it's out, because it's going to go further than this, y'all. It's going to, we just hold on to your hat. What do you hope people leave feeling? What do you think's the message behind it?
Just like it kind of feels like a warm hug at the end, honestly, and just like a celebration and this yeah, a celebration.
Nina, how many self-tapes do you get? Like, did you self-tape for this?
I actually did not self tape for this. I do get a lot of self tapes. I was lucky enough to they had seen my work, they'd seen a show that I had done, and they reached out and we had a conversation and we kind of went from there. So that was really cool to get to do. But I do quite a lot of self tapes. It's yeah, we do. It's part of the grind.
It's part of the
Part of the
grind.
job.
Young actors out here get used to the self-tape life
No.
and
Bring
learning.
back in the room though. Bring it back. It's so
Do
much
you
better.
feel a difference because you can show your personality?
Yeah. And you get to like bond with the casting director. We've lost this like connection with like casting sometimes because we're not seeing each other. So yeah, I feel like bring back in the room.
And then you could take an adjustment and learn what they're looking for.
You do direction and you're not going crazy, kind of just staring at yourself, thinking like, is this what they want? Is it like it's all a mind, like self tapes feel like a mind game, and in the room you can just kind of it's how it always was before. So yeah, like I like being in the room.
On this set, when we talked to the director, she talked about letting some of the great artistry giving a lot of conversation. You talked about the same thing. Is how do you balance with this director and all the directors you've worked with between your ideas as an actor and then doing what the director's vision is? It's really it's like a date, it's like a marriage.
Yeah, it really is. And there's compromise. There has to be compromise. And usually the compromise goes to the director. So it was really cool working with Rachel because she would listen and hear. And then she would want to like find out exactly what we were envisioning. So we would be having these long conversations about it. And it was really nice to be able to like meet halfway and figure it out together. But I don't know. I love collaborating. It's my favorite part of my job is kind of it feels like a puzzle piece. Like you're trying to figure out how to fit their vision and meld it with your own. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like, yeah, it's my favorite part of the job.
I love that so much. I think it's great when you have a great director who listens to actors and then other actors who listen to actors and some of the icons that you've had on set, like Steve Guttenberg's in this. I grew up with Steve Guttenberg. Or Jonathan Silverman, Seth Green. I mean, they're comedic geniuses.
I know.
Did
Yeah.
you spend time with them and did you get to see the way that they work?
Yeah, for sure. Like I would kind of watch Seth um off screen and like do his like because we were literally living on the camp. You would just have to look out your window and you could just watch a whole scene play out. It was great. It was amazing. Yeah, and same for Steve and Jonathan. Like you just got to kind of get their essence. I didn't have a lot of scenes with those two, but I would watch the monitor or I would like hear stories from people who did have those scenes and kind of take in what was going on. But even Jake Ryan is
Jake
also just
Ryan.
a genius, and watching him ad lib and do his thing was so spectacular and like inspiring. And yeah, he's amazing.
I think y'all are amazing. I had fun.
It's
I,
a fun movie. It's fun.
I
Super
think
fun.
people need to go to the film festival or follow it so that they can stay up to date where it's going to be. I think people also need to, when it's out and about, if it's on demand or in the movie theater, you need to check it out. Like it's the perfect Friday night summer
Summer
date night
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it made me really nostalgic for camp. I
Yep.
don't, I don't miss being bullied and I don't miss
No,
staying.
I know. For sure.
But do you feel now that you've lived this experience, you've checked this off your bucket list, you did summer camp?
Absolutely. Without all of the like awkwardness and like the not fun parts of it. I got
You
like the
will.
best version of it.
She's got Nina one, everybody, and you've all lived your summer camp life. So go back, watch this film, get some nostalgia, see what it was like. This cast is bananas. The writing is funny. It's a great movie, and it's a great time to check it out. I'm so excited for you. I know this is just the beginning. I know there's so much amazing work that you have to do, and we're here for it. We're so excited to see you in this and whatever you got up your sleeve.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely talking with you.
Let's keep going. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Well, hello, and now we get to talk to the wonderful Sarah here on this amazing episode of the Roundtable. Sarah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you, and congratulations on the floaters coming to film festivals and theaters and TV screens and everywhere. So, what was it like for you? How did this film come to you?
Um, it was an audition, and I just loved the character. I like know this woman, and I just had so much fun with it. And when I met with them to, when I met with the producers and the director to, read again, I found out that they were fans of a show that I do called Reservation Dogs. So that was just nice that they were kind of familiar with my work. So yeah, it was really nice timing. It just all kind of like came together. And then oddly enough, I ended up getting pregnant. And then I was I went out to shoot when I was like 5 weeks pregnant. And then I was like newly pregnant shooting. So it was a really interesting, it was like a lot of abundance happening at once. So yeah.
Well, you will never forget this shoot then for the rest of your life.
No, no, it was intense.
Well, when you look at your career and the characters, you bring up Reservation Dogs, and then this series, being a Jewish camp and then going away for the summer, a lot of the stories that you seem to tell as an actor deal with the non-traditional roles that we see so often portrayed in movies and television. How important was it for you, not only with Reservation Dogs and the indigenous people, but also now this story of a Jewish camp, to hear other points of views out here?
It's so important. I mean, I think this is really the point of it. I mean, when we make content like this, people get to see a part of the world and society, and they get to see characters that they don't usually get to see. So it's really, that's one of them, like that's why I got into this, for representation. And so I think it's such a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful that I get to participate in such unique projects. And, the floaters it's really special that way. We see a very specific telling, of this community that often isn't seen. And that means a lot also to the Jewish community. I mean, I grew up going to Jewish camp, and like these are the things we did. We were like little political activists, and we had intense conversations about Judaism, but then we also like fell in love and like made out with kids, like all of these things.
Right.
It's like totally, it's so beautiful to see that all kind of wrapped up in a film. It's really cool.
Well, what I love so much about it is that you get the opportunity to experience something that we don't experience if you're not in the Jewish history, but also it's universal because we
Yes.
all have gone to camp, we've all had these experiences. So that's what I love. Rachel Israel, as the filmmaker and working on this piece, what can you say about the set and what can you say about the rest of this cast?
She was also pregnant. So there was this there was this kind of really like I loved it because like she kind of had to be taken care of it as well. Like I was, so it was really an incredible experience to like come pregnant and be like, guys, I'm pregnant, like a surprise. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. So there was a very like, I don't want to say like slow pace, but kind of like an understanding. It was very hot. We were outside a lot. But there was just this nice balance of like, a woman who was going through, she's such a champion and like she's been pregnant before and had children before. So, this was my first time, being as pregnant as I was. But so there was kind of this vibe. There was a very like maternal vibe I felt. And, it was really interesting, I would say. Um, but also, a great collaboration because I think, the performers involved were also pretty vocal about, wanting to do right by these characters and wanting to do right by the story. So, um, it was a really nice collaboration to be able to share that with her. And yeah, she's just a wonderful woman.
Oh my goodness. Apparently everybody on set, you get pregnant if you work on floaters.
I know.
That's so
Be
so this
careful.
careful when you watch it at home. No, when you when you get on set and you work with this incredible ensemble of actors who come from all sorts of backgrounds, so many television credits, so many film credits. Is there any intimidation? How do you build the relationship that you're going to be out here in the woods shooting on location for these weeks? How did you all get along as a cast?
Everybody was so like humble. There was no ego brought to it. Like I remember meeting Steve Gutenberg and being like, "Oh my God, this is crazy." He's like the nicest guy. And Jackie's wonderful and I is wonderful and Seth is wonderful. Everybody was just so also, first of all, it was during the strikes. It was during the writer strike. So like nobody was working. So I think we were all just like really grateful that this project came along and that we were able to work, but also we were able to like be in community because it was still like a little bit pandemic-y. Like it was kind of like a very nice treat, to be able to work at a time when nobody was working and to also be able to like work legally and to, know that, we were a production that was like abiding by the rules that were made and like knowing that we were kind of part of this new wave of filmmaking that had to shift the way that it was working because the way that it had been working up until that point was just not sustainable for a lot of people. So it was a really interesting project to be on amidst that kind of chaos of the industry. But so everyone kind of came in a very good way. And it was really you're working with like all these Jewish icons. And like every time I would see another name on the call sheet, I was like, I'm sorry, who? Wait a second, this person's coming in? Like it was so bonkers. It was bonkers.
There's so many cameos and so much fun in this film. I mean, I grew up on Seth Green. Steve Gutenberg was here, and Steve Gutenberg did our show. And I almost I grew up in the 80s. Like there is no movie icon like Steve Gutenberg. That's it. So you got to see it,
Like the
everybody.
nicest guy.
Yes. So if you love films and you have a history of loving films, this is the film for you. So who do you recommend watches this film? Like, who is it for?
It's for everybody. I mean, I think you mentioned it before, which is like if you want to laugh and you want to like have a heartfelt, moment with characters and a story, like this is for you. it doesn't really matter where you come from. I think especially at a time like this with the political climate and everything like that, you know, to be able to escape into a story about friendship and love and inspiration and inspiring your community and sticking together and like, you know, getting through the yucky stuff of, you know, relationships or even just, you know, things that we're going through ourselves, you know, identity, you know, um issues and like, you know, I don't know, that's a story about coming back together. It's a story about, you know, love. And I think that that's just important. We need a lot of that right now. Also, like, since I had my son, I can't watch anything with like murder and like it's just everything has like so much murder and trauma in it. And like this is a really nice film. It makes you feel really nice. Like it gives you, you know, good laughs and you get to see some beautiful performances. And I think a lot of people need that right now. There's just a bit too much intensity happening. So I think it's for everybody. It's for everybody, you know, who wants a hilarious, you know, just lighthearted, but also goes, you know, goes deep emotionally and has like a beautiful message to it.
When did you shoot this? Because how old is your son?
My son just turned 13 months. So I guess almost 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. 13 months.
Yeah.
And so now you will always remember when you shot this because as the years as he grows, this film has grown.
Yeah.
As you know, there's been so much, to be serious for a moment, there's been so much rhetoric and scary things, anti-Semitic rhetoric in the world today. And I think a film like this to younger people or people who follow your career and other people's careers in this film, and they watch it because of that, it humanizes people who are sometimes really spoken so poorly about. It's incredible in 2025 that we're having conversations like this. And I know that that's important to all of you that worked on this film.
Yeah. It was, I mean, this came up, you know, just months after we finished wrapping this film. And I don't think we could have imagined, you know, that the world would need a film like this at this time. And you're totally right. You know, I come from this, you know, background of being Indigenous and Jewish, and there's things that I've experienced as a Native actress. And there's, you know, there's definitely, you know, has been, you know, a lot of trauma and turmoil in our community, you know, over the past few years. And I'm kind of familiar with dealing with, you know, horrific stereotypes and like, you know, erasure of our history and stuff like that. And so it's been interesting, you know, as a Jewish actor to kind of go through these things that I didn't really anticipate ever happening. But realizing it is so important to humanize our community, the same way that it has always been important for me to humanize Native characters too, because I think, you know, we're always so one-dimensional and there's, you know, so much misinformation and like misrepresentation out there. So I think it is a really beautiful time for it and a really beautiful time to share, you know, the values that are important to our community and about, you know, our responsibility as Jews to you know, take care of each other and the world. And like, these are values that are in, you know, the Torah. They're like written for us to say like, you know, in times of discomfort, you know, we have to rise to the occasion, to be, you know, to lead with love. And, you know, I think that this story definitely does that.
Well, we all need that. The whole world needs that more now more than ever. And we need to laugh and we need to find moments to put the phone down, put the news down, put the doom and gloom down, and join in community and be together.
Yeah.
Uh, so
And
this,
we're so funny. Like the crazy thing that I find both, you know, in the Native community and the Jewish community is that like humor is what keeps us thriving. You know, it can't be trauma all the time. You know, we have to laugh, exactly what you're saying, you know, and I think that's such a beautiful way that I've seen my family cope, you know, in dark times, and that, you know, the humor and the levity is something that's so important now to just nourish our soul.
we all need that for sure. So you're premiering at Bentonville Film Festival. This is airing like right as you're about to premiere. Why is it important that film festivals have picked this up? It must be such an honor to get the word that, you know, out of the thousands of films that submit, you're going to be there.
Yeah, and also like Gina Davis's festival. Like that's crazy to me. Because I feel like there's so many like iconic people in this film, and I'm like, oh my God. And then like the icon of icons, like, what she has done for, diverse voices, is just, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful film festival. And I think it's the perfect place for it. And it's so difficult. Like I've, been doing this a long time, and you're always just like, please let this film see the light of day. Please let someone, care about it as much as we do. And so when I heard that it was this festival, I was so happy, so excited. I've actually been to Bentonville before. There's like an incredible museum there. I think it's called Crystal Bridges Museum. So I was like, oh my God, I love this place. I'm so excited. And I think it's the right audience, which is really great. I'm so happy it found a good home.
Well, we definitely want to keep up with you. We're going to be following you and your career and all the work that you have to come. I know that this is only the beginning. And Floaters, we're going to stay up to speed on the film as well, because as this gets released and as more people see it and as it continues its journey, we need to stay up and spread the word. Tell your friends, tell people that this film is out here, and make sure you check it out. It's the perfect film to sit around with your loved ones and check it out. It's such an honor to talk to you. We love your work. We love everything that you do. Congratulations on being a mom. Congratulations on being a working actor out here in these streets. And, and we're so excited that you spent some time with us. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Okay. And
Thanks.
thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Catherine.